Hi, welcome to my Tables Review. This might feel a little strange at first, but let me start this review with a quote from psychologist Ernest Jantz. In telling a story, one of the most successful devices for easily creating uncanny effects is to leave the reader in uncertainty whether a particular figure in the story is a human being or an automaton, and to do it in such a way that his attention is not focused directly upon his uncertainty, so that he may not be led to go into the matter and clear it up immediately. Representations of the uncanny have been characterized through certain architectures which perform as cultural signs of estrangement for particular periods. The house can be considered the origin site for uncanny disturbances, identified by 18th century writers such as Edgar Allan Poe. These stories favored the motif of intimate domestic comfort and the invasion of an alien presence. In the 19th century, the uncanny emerged in psychology as a space that was still interior, but now of the interior mind. Freud set himself the task of identifying what this particular quality is which allows us to distinguish as uncanny certain things within the boundary of what is fearful. He suggested that uncanniness, while sharing qualities with the allied genres of fear, such as the mystical, hallucinatory and supernatural, reveled in its non-specificity. It is characterized better as dread rather than terror, its sense of lurking unease rather than a clearly defined source of fear. Modern discussion on the feeling of uncanniness is when the familiar suddenly becomes defamiliarized or unreal, as if in a dream, otherwise known as the unease we feel when we see something that looks almost real. As Anthony Vidler suggests, the uncanny is not a property of the space itself, it is its aesthetic dimension, a representation of the mental state or projection that precisely aligns the boundaries of the real and the unreal in order to provoke a disturbing ambiguity, a slippage between waking and dreaming. In the technological 21st century, the uncanny valley is the term given to the rise of robotic or digital machines and the disturbing chasm between looking almost human and fully human. The external similarities to human beings makes the acceptance of the machines easier. However, if the machine is too similar to the human, we begin to feel mistrust. What is human? What is machine? The uncanny valley can be noticed in a variety of contexts, from realistic robotic prosthetics to 3D game animations. The 2001 film Final Fantasy showcased some of the most realistic animation of the time, but it was a box office flop because they found the animations too disturbing. Similarly, test screens of the film Shrek caused unexpected feelings of anxiety in children when Princess Fiona came on screen. Filmmakers ended up editing her appearance to become more cartoon in order to prevent the uncanny valley effect. We are becoming more and more accustomed and even enjoy the uncanny valley within film, game and entertainment. However, recent advancement in virtual reality and AI have meant that only uncanny digital forms are no longer contained to just our screen devices, but have and will start to affect the spaces that we physically inhabit. The metaverse is a new digital universe where you can meet your friends, find new people, do business, go to concerts, go to church, catch up with your family, travel across dimensions, and even feel virtual objects as though they were real. This gigantic process has been referred to as the colonization of consciousness and is entirely controlled by Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook is the 8th biggest company in the world with control of the data of 2 billion users. Instagram, owned by Facebook, is following suit. Facebook has continued to dominate the virtual reality markets, and in 2014, Facebook acquired Oculus Rift for $2 billion. Oculus controls 75% of the virtual reality markets, and this number will continue to grow as Facebook begins to subsidize these headsets to increase their availability. We are already starting to see virtual reality becoming the norm. Justin Bieber, for example, has already been paid off to perform a live concert within the metaverse, and with this concert, investors have been eagerly buying up online concert venues. Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Burberry, and all the other major clothing brands are buying up NFTs, and Dolce & Gabbana have just sold their own high-end fashion line for a record $6 million in the metaverse. Investors are now buying up shopping malls and properties, all because experts are predicting that the metaverse will foster a brand new flourishing economy, leaving people with less and less choice whether to engage or not, as the real-world economy and culture has the potential to be subsumed by the virtual. Just as social media uses sophisticated brain science and behavioral modeling to addict users to its products, in the metaverse, your entire life and all your interactions are fed into an algorithm that exploits your personal data. This sphere will be able to track the exact moments you showed signs of enjoyment or displeasure, and then tailor its environments to suit you. Facebook will dictate the brands that are sold, the small businesses run, the land that you own, and the sites that you see, which means Facebook could choose to ban you for whatever reason it seems fit. In this way, Facebook has the potential to control the value of your business or exclude you totally from the society through its advanced algorithms.
Imagine this for a second. One man with total control of billions of people's stolen data, all their secrets, their lives, their futures. Whoever controls the data controls the future.
Aside from the obvious insidious prospect of a reality and consciousness controlled by one company, what happens when these algorithms and tailored spaces react to its users in ways that is too familiar, too personal or lifelike, leaving us unable to distinguish between the real and the unreal? In the same way that we feel uneasy at the uncanny valley and machines mimicking human traits, what if an augmented data reality incorporated not only our consumerist-driven data, but our more nuanced human, mental and emotional data, and reflected this back at us in the space that we inhabit?
Thank you very much. Yeah.
The project proposes an investigation into what this dystopian meta-reality might look like through the design of a series of augmented spaces that reflect back the uncanny nuances of an individual. The site of the corner shop has been chosen to begin with because of its pre-existing links to consumerism, individuality, and social diversity, which present themselves as main contenders of dispute within this already real design of the Facebook metaverse. Corner shops, of course, don't exist as a fantasy. They are places described as an everyday contact zone, where all age groups from various backgrounds venture in for a pint of milk and a packet of cigs. These encounters are no less significant for their ordinariness. Rather, they are places in the real world where the everyday and the extraordinary converge in seemingly banal ways. These social spaces where disparate cultures meet, clash and grapple with each other are fraught with the tensions and connections that characterize multicultural Britain. So what happens when the corner shop, which is neutrally designed to serve all purposes and people, is designed through augmented reality to solely represent, reflect and serve an individual? Does the user get to know themselves better through their spatial double? What does it mean if the copy takes over? And finally, how does our reality collide and interact with others in the same space? What does the uncanny look like in the metaverse? A space we know not to be real but absorbs us completely. The project will aim to answer these questions in the virtual reality experience of my own character, grappling with this strange new reality. Taking inspiration from the German expressionist cinema of the 1920s, which has influenced modern surrealist directors such as David Lynch and Stanley Kubrick, the design spaces within the character's journey will represent the character's mental and emotional states. While the spaces delve deeper and deeper into her psyche, they will begin to reflect back not only her needs and desires, but also her fears and emotions. While this project is in a response to the metaverse, which implies user control, my universe is solely controlled by the spaces within, asking the viewer to question their own relationship to the world which absorbs them completely, but where they have no control.
And we're back. Thank you for listening to my presentation. You can now all remove your headsets.